My students, welcome to the course System Programming. Today we will see classification of grammars. The contents for the lecture are types of grammars as type 0 grammar, type 1, type 2, type 3 and operator grammars. So let us see one by one. First one is type 0 grammars. So type 0 grammars are also known as phase structured grammars. They contain the productions of the form alpha is equal to beta. Here both alpha and beta can be strings of T's and NT's. T's means terminals and NT's means non-terminals. So such a type of productions provide arbitrary submission of strings during derivation or reduction. Now here direct assignment is done with beta to the alpha. So such a type of strings are not allowed or are not relevant to the specification of any programming language. So because of which type 0 grammars are not used. Let us see the next type 1 grammars. Type 1 grammars are also known as context sensitive grammars. Now, as I know, you have not understood anything in type 0 grammars, but you will understand type 0 to operator grammar if you check comparatively what is the difference between each grammar type. So in type 0 grammar, alpha equal to beta was given. So only whole string was assigned to alpha, that beta is assigned to alpha. Now here in type 1 grammar, this type 1 grammar is also called as context sensitive grammar because there is some context fixed for derivation or production. That means alpha, beta, if this is the context, then only A will be replaced by pi. So here is also a context that alpha and beta are surrounded with pi. So such a type of grammar is called as context sensitive grammar. Now these grammars are also not relevant for programming language specification since recognition of PL constructs is not context sensitive in nature. So any programming language is not context sensitive in nature, because of which such a type of grammars are not useful for replacement of strings. Now you have understood between type 0 and type 1. Type 0 was not having any context, directly replace alpha with beta. That is also not possible. And context sensitive is also not possible. And what is possible? Let us see. Now this type of grammar, type 2 grammars, are called as context free grammars. Why? Because these grammars impose no context requirement on derivations or productions. A typical type 2 production is of the form A is equal to pi. So if there is A, replace A with pi, there is no need of any context. So which can be applied independent of its context. That's what I told. Independent of its context, A is replaced with pi. Now, such a type of grammars are called as CFGs, and CFGs are ideally suited for programming language specifications. Now, these context-free grammars that you have already seen in subject named as TOC, Theory of Computation. So, don't worry that huge knowledge is not required here of TOC, but you must know what is in the context-free grammars. Examples that we are going to see definitely. Now you see the difference between type 0, type 1 and type 2. Type 0 directly replace with alpha with beta is not possible. Type 1 context sensitive, each time to check the context is not feasible and none of the programming language is giving such a type of context sensitive grammar. Next is type 2 grammar. Here it is called a CFG. Most importantly, CFGs are suited for programming language specifications. So next is type 3 grammars. So type 3 grammars are characterized by production of the form. A gives small t, capital B, or small t. Now here you can see that at the RHS there is a combination of T's and NT's. Terminal is T and B is non-terminal. Such a type of grammars are called as type 3 grammars. Hence, type 3 grammars are used to specify lexical units as identifier or constants or labels. How come? I will annotate here. Now here you can see ID means identifier. Identifier always starts with letter. That's why L is compulsory here, followed by ID. After that L is there, or ID after that D is there. Now I'll tell what L is and what D is. L is letter and D is digit. Now see, identifier. Have you ever seen that int 1a? Is it possible? No. 1a is not possible, but a1 is possible. So each and every identifier starts with not number, means starts with what? Letter. That's why ID gives letter first. Second, ID can give ID followed with letter. That means ID can be like this, A. Int AA is possible. Int A is also possible. And at last, int A1 is also possible. So all types of possibilities are covered using this type of grammar. Got it? But this is called as type 3 grammar. I repeat, ID equal to L or IDL or IDD. This indicates that there can be, this grammar will give any number of identifiers that you can tell me. Now you tell me int number 1. How it will work? Int number 1. Int this ID comma L, ID comma L, ID comma L, ID comma L. This will repeat up to what? It will start with N, then U, M, B, E, R, S. Numbers. So it will start with N, it will end up to S and then 1. So such a type of identifiers are given by this type of grammar called as type 3 grammar. Next is operator grammar. Theoretical part, an operator grammar is a grammar none of whose productions contains 2 or more consecutive entities in any RHS alternative. Means at the RHS in operator grammar, there should not be 2 consecutive non-terminals. Now, thus entities occurring at RHS are separated by 1 or more terminal symbols. Now, if at all there are 2 consecutive entities available, then these are separated by adding 1 or more terminal symbols. So you can see here. Is there any consecutive non-terminals? No. This L is terminal, this D is terminal. ID is non-terminal because it is given in triangular brackets. So all entities occurring at RHS are separated by 1 or more terminal symbols. Now here you can see that all terminal symbols occurring at RHS are called as operators of the grammar. I hope you understood operator grammar. Name itself indicates that operators are given by the OG, operator grammar. So operators like plus, minus, divide, multiply, raise to are taken care by the operator grammar. Coming to the end of the lecture, what we have seen different types of grammars like type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3 and operator grammar. In this lecture, whatever we have seen is totally theoretical part and it will be asked for short answer question, 4 marks question. I hope you understood this. In the coming lectures, we will see ambiguity in grammatic specification. Slide credit goes to Professor D.M. Dhamdere, sir. I have taken all the contents from the book. The address is shown here. SPOS, System Programming and Operating System, written by Professor D.M. Dhamdere. Thank you. Happy learning. Do subscribe the channel to get all the uploaded videos. Thank you.